Alright, so I'm just gonna get straight to it. Hi, I'm Shalon. So, I find it unique that my video was in response to my mother and not her husband, but yet he still had the most to say, which isn't uncommon. I also find it unfortunate that my mother does not seem to speak on her own. The only two worlds that I know where daddy is used is for children speaking with their fathers and women acknowledging their pimps. Her husband starts off by literally doing the very thing that I said that they would do, which honestly kind of made me feel as though their response was ironic because they validate my original video. Either A, she has some newfound moment of clarity, or B, she retreats back to daddy. In her retreat back to him, though, he does not acknowledge what I did say, but instead begins to create a new narrative of things that I did not say, which negates the effects of a response video. The two of you essentially created a new video rather than actually respond to what was actually said. You also brought up my father. My father, though, is not doing interviews talking about me. In quick regards to the three sons comment, under the context in which your husband was speaking, by your rationale, Ma, he should have easily had no problem saying 4 sons, especially since you say he knew me before I knew me. The two of you can sometimes come off as seekers of weak levels of empathy from others while at the same time sidestepping any accountability that one may need to take. To attempt to address what I said to another man while also trying to make your wife victim number 1 has nothing to do with you. My father did not need you to speak for him. You're her daddy, not his. My mother has been speaking on our relationship for years, so to imply that only one side of a story was told when there are several articles and interviews throughout the internet discussing my strained relationship with her, filled with quotes from your wife speaking directly about me, while also providing vague context and downplaying the impact of an uninterested mother. I am 33 years old and have had ample opportunity to go to the media and tell some BS story for a BS amount of money, but instead I am on TikTok expressing my feelings for free. If the two of them were paying attention, I literally explained in my first video why I am responding using TikTok. And I should not have to repeat myself. My mother also states there are some people that are saying, oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is what I say. Let's let it play out. Because the same ones that were saying, oh, I was crazy, I was deranged, we watched it play out. So just like with my son, we're going to watch this play out. First of all, who the hell is we if it ain't you and I reconciling our relationship? Second of all, it's power in a word. Nobody is playing, but I can understand why you would use that word specifically. As you stated in the Club Shay Shay interview, you had the mentality of a 15-year-old child. You required a man to raise you, and you were acting like a little girl. These are your words. It doesn't matter what context I have them in. This is how you thought of yourself as a grown adult who was someone's mother. Last time I checked, Monique fans, a 15-year-old grown adult who acts like a child but is in search of their daddy, they don't typically make efficient parents. But hey, I could be wrong. On a more serious note, to sit there and allow your daddy to address my mental health in a weak attempt to pass my response off as a moment is disturbing and insulting to those of us who do have mental health issues. The way I presented myself was no different than my mother and her daddy presented themselves when addressing DL Hughley. And her precious sweet babies ate it up. DL is wrong because he's so loud. Mo and daddy are right because they're so calm. But I, for some reason, don't get the same energy. To simply try to call me crazy is dismissive and cowardice. Attacking somebody's mental status is a clear sign that you have zero to stand on. Furthermore, what kind of person still has a text message from their wife's son that is over 2 years old still in their phone saved just for the purpose of re-showing it to him? What I specifically remember about that message is that at the end of it, you said something along the lines of, if you don't respond, I understand. I could care less about what your message was about, but for you to say in the message, if you don't respond, I understand, why was it then that when you and I did speak, after that message was sent, the first question out of your mouth is, hey man, how come you didn't respond to my text message? I found that to be very unique, but I did not need an explanation on how to speak to women or how to listen to women. That was not what that situation was about. My mother showed me how conceited she is in that situation that you were referring to. For a woman to villainize the actions of her son for being a man and a father to his new family simply because she had not heard from him in 2 days, as though her phone was broken and she could not check on me. Because last time I checked, I was a new parent. I didn't get a new house. I didn't go on vacation. I didn't just get a new game system. I had a baby. And in those 2 days that you did not hear from me, I was handling my business as a man and a father. But I'll assume your phone and the phones of those around you were all broken, which I wanted to believe was the reason why you did not respond to a message from your son expressing his concern over some bumps that your grandchild had on her back. You would later make it your business to tell me that you got the message and chose not to respond because her other grandmother is a nurse. Damn the fact that she is also your blood. And shout out to Nana. My baby girl loves her some Nana. The statement about money and then stating, don't let nobody introduce me to you, is not a competent statement to make because it wasn't a complete sentence, nor did the two things correlate with each other. And when did you have the time to introduce yourself to a son that you weren't interested in and didn't do the best job you could do? I'm starting to think that you're not hearing yourself. To address money, you gave me $10,000 for a down payment on a car. Yes, thank you again. Thank you. My girlfriend and I were already prepared to put our money together and get a car. You and your husband called us one day and stated that y'all were going to give us $5,000 for a down payment. We said, okay. You then called us back a day or two later and stated that you would be giving us $10,000 for a down payment on the car. You and him made the conscious choice to give us that money. We did not ask you for anything, but this is an example of a rich person doing something for you. And because an example of a rich person doing something for you because they want to do it for you, but because it doesn't have the desired effect that they want it to have, you are inconsiderate and ungrateful. But let's take it a step further. I eventually would uncover that my mother had left me a UTMA worth $45,000.
Fallout is continuing to play out from comedian Monique's now viral interview with Shannon Sharpe on his Club Shay Shay, and things have gotten way personal as her eldest son Shalon Jackson is now responding. In a video posted to TikTok, he claimed that his mother's sentiment of praying to the universe to fix their relationship is a false narrative that they are both aware of due to the fact that their relationship has been estranged for years, as he has allegedly had no interest in him as a son for a long time. In his words, he said, "I would like to free her from having to continue to tell that lie." He said, "Faith without works is dead, and neither one of us care to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. We are separate," as she put it, "because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son. Neither one of us have had the desire to reach out to the other in a very long time, and I don't think that either of us anticipates that feeling ever returning." He went on to say that his mother admitted to not being the best mother growing up, and shared that while she does a good job at acknowledging where she fell short, she is yet to fully take accountability for it. Additionally, he revealed that he learned how not to love from the example his mother set. Well, now Monique and Sydney are responding to Shalon's comments. They said, "This is what I'll say. Let's let it play it out. Because the same ones that said to me that I was crazy, deranged, we watched it play out. So just like with my son, we'll watch it play out," she began. After that, Sydney took over most of the conversation to explain why it was necessary to share their thoughts publicly. He reasoned that they wanted to destigmatize hard conversations between family in our culture. He also took the time to add further context about Shalon and Monique's relationship, revealing how they helped the son out monetarily with his first child and helped him purchase a new car despite Shalon's inferences that his mother and Sydney weren't in good standing with him. The irony of all this is not what is said, but what is left off. See, you're living off the fact that the last time we laid eyes on you, your mother got you everything you needed for the newborn baby about 3 years. You're now forgetting how I from Georgia was talking you through getting your car after we gave you half the payment for it, and you were 31, 32 years old at that point." He later added, "So if you think you're not loved, that's because you're not paying attention and that there are other dynamics that fall into play, which we completely understand. And for you too, we are going to keep the light on for you. Shalon has since responded with yet another TikTok video, while Monique has posted text messages to prove various points in their video and their relationship with Shalon. Let's see where this drama ends.